You guys want to check out a cool little webcam? If you do, you're in the right spot. Today, I'm going to check out the Emeet Pixy. It is a 4K dual camera PTZ webcam. If that's something you're interested in, stick around. This is the Emeet Pixy, a 4K PTZ webcam that wants to do everything but your laundry. Dual cameras, AI tools, gesture control, and built-in mics so good you might fire your USB mic. But does it actually deliver, or is it just flexing specs? Let's find out. Before we get started, I do want to tell you that the awesome folks over at Emeet did send this camera over to me for review. Regardless of that fact, I will be giving my honest opinion, and they will be my opinions and mine alone. So with that being said, let's get on with the video. So I know what you're thinking to yourself, because I thought the same thing. I said, self, what comes in the box? So I'm going to show you what comes in the box, all right? I did already open the box. Let me open this up and just take a look and make sure I'm not making a fool of myself before I say too much. So there's not a lot. You're going to get this other box that's inside the box. You know, it's a box in a box. We love those things. And the cable's missing. I have the cable. Trust me, I have it. Okay? Don't question that. It's around. It's around somewhere. Anyway, you do get this nice little bracket that is used for putting it onto your monitor. And it's nice. It's got one of those little screwy doodad things right there to attach it to the bottom of the camera itself. And then it's got the adjustable arm that you can adjust into a lot of different positions and get it just where you need it. So that's what comes in the box, along with some other stuff. A really thick booklet. It's kind of like the Webster's Dictionary from Emeet. It's huge. It's thick. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to scan through if and when I need to. That's all I'm saying about that. On with the rest of the video. All right, so real quick, I'm going to demonstrate you see it? The PTZ camera portion. The PTZ pan, tilt, zoom. Got it right. It's going to follow me. I've got gesture controls turned on, so I already did that, and it turned on the tracking mode. Oh, I just turned it off. This is what you do, and you want to make it so that your shoulder is still visible and your hand. So let me just make sure I didn't turn it back off again. And then we'll show what it does as far as tracking. And it's going to, I've got it onto my face, so it's going to kind of keep an eye on this upper portion. I don't have a lot of room in here, but I will show you. Oops, I'm knocking stuff over. I gotta start over because I just crushed my finger. Oh. All right, so I'm going to show you the tracking mode. I turned it on with the hand gesture. I've got it to where it's tracking my face, so it's going to keep an eye on this upper portion of my body, trying to hone in on my face. All right, and I don't have a whole lot of room, but I can show you that it is pretty quick as far as tracking goes. Let me get my chair out of the way, and I'll go over here and show you. I know it's a little dark because I got all my lights on over here, but here's the tracking. And it'll go pretty far. I'm sure if I ducked behind something, it might lose me. But there you go. There's a good example of the tracking abilities for the Emeet Pixy. And here's an example of the included bracket for mounting it on top of your monitor. And the rubber pads keep the camera from moving around on your monitor. All right, so now I'm going to jump into the software. So let's take a look at that. All right, first off, we are in the control area, and it shows you your PTZ control. There is a little dial right here that you can pan up and down, tilt left and right. And then there's some presets that you can set. Once you get it where you want it, you click on one of those, and then you can click on this area right in here, and it will save that spot. So you can always refer back to that spot. You can save up to 3. And then you've got controls for your zoom right here. And then in here also shows your audio modes. We'll go ahead and test out the mics that are built in. It's got a three mic array. So This currently is in noise canceling mode. Oh, I do have to turn on the mics. So let me turn this one off. And now we've got the EMEET mic. This is noise canceling mode. And this is live mode. This is what that's going to sound like. And then you've got original sound mode. All right. So I'm going to leave it at original sound mode for now. And we will carry on with the rest of the software. Down here is your controls for your resolution. Right now it's at 1080 by 30 frames per second. You can adjust that. All right, now we are at 4K 30. This is what 4K 30 is going to look like. And now we are at 2K 30. This is 2K 30. It doesn't look too bad. Now we are at 1080 60. This is 1080 60. Trying to look at both screens, see which one looks the best. And then you've got back to 1080 30, and there's 1080 30. And you've got one more option, which is 720 30. And I'll go ahead and flip over to that. And this is 720 by 30. All right, so I'm going to go back to 1080 30 just because that's where I've been the whole time. And then down here, you've got some options for filters as far as changing like the color, the way it looks. This is default. Then you've got bright, nostalgic, kind of gives you that jaundice look. This is blues. Blues isn't too bad. I've got a lot of lights on in here. This is cold. You can definitely see this kind of looks chilly. Looks a little cold. Then we've got vivid. This is vivid. I'm not a big fan of that. And then back to custom. This is what I've got it set at. So I'll go ahead and show you I'll go into effects. Oh, one more thing in this screen is your audio control. Right now it's on mixing. You can go back and forth between single and mixing. And then here's your slider for your mixing. Also in here, you can flip and rotate different directions. If you were shooting in portrait mode, you might use this option. And then you've got where it'll flip your view back around, and then you can go upside down. So we'll go ahead and put this back the way I had it and jump into effects. And this is what I have it set at. I do have a decent amount of lighting in here. I've got 2 key lights. I've got another video light over here that's bouncing light off of the ceiling. And then I've got a lamp back here that's kind of lighting up the corner of the room. And then I've got my my aesthetic lights. And then I have the room light, which is also a bright white daylight bulb. It is adjustable. I can run through cold and warm colors and brightness. Just a regular one of those plug-in bulbs. All right, so this is what I've got my brightness setting, my contrast. This is where I'm at right now. I'll show you the default. All right, this is default. This is how it's going to look default. And I don't like this, so I adjusted it myself. You can do whatever you got to do to get it looking right for your environment, your lighting, your room. I'm going to go ahead and switch mine back, and then I'll show you the assistant. Actually, I'll show you the assistant right now. And I'm still on the EMEET mic. Let me switch back because this does work. You can use this, but I prefer this mic over the built-in mics. But if you were doing like Zoom calls and stuff, which is, I think this is kind of what this camera is geared more towards, this would work pretty good. All right, so we're back on a studio microphone, and let me go ahead and show you the assistant mode. This is where it's going to focus on. I've got it set to a face, and then you can do a this one is like in general, so it says central area, and then the next one over is going to give you a box, and you can put that box somewhere, and it's going to focus wherever that box is. All right, I'm going to go back to face mode, so it just kind of hones in on my face and keeps that the most in focus. You can turn the autofocus off and adjust that yourself. I've got it on auto. And then right here, you can toggle this on or off. You can set it to 10 seconds, 1 minute, and 15 minutes as far as how soon it will turn the privacy mode on after you stopped using it. All right, and then you've got your gesture control and auto rotate when upside down. All right, so let me get my effects back to the way I have them. Put it at 90. And I've got my contrast at 165. I have my sharpness turned all the way down to 0 because I find that there's less color noise if I do that. And then saturation, I've got at 125. And I have the auto white balance turned off, and I've got it set right above 4,000 Kelvin. And the anti-flicker, I've got at 60 hertz. I don't know if that makes much of a difference. No, not really. So there you have. That's how I got from default settings to where I'm at now. And that, I believe, is about it. There is some other options. There's a whiteboarding section right here. I'm not going to go into it, but there's where you can go to do some whiteboarding. And there is script generation. And that is kind of cool. You can go in here and you can have it write a script. Let's see, write a script for, for a review of the EMEET Pixy. So you go ahead and it's set to shooting types and content duration. That's on universal. I'm just going to leave it there, but you've got daily vlog, entertainment, lifestyle, knowledge, emotional damage, business. And then over here, content duration, you can pick within 30 minutes, within or greater than an hour, within 2 hours. I'm going to leave it at universal and hit start composing. And then right over here, it's going to compose a script of some sort. Oh, there it goes. And there you go. It's got your narration. In today's video, we're taking a closer look at the EMEET Pixy. And it did spell Pixit. Maybe did I spell Pixit? I did. But there you have it. You can mess around with that, learn this a little bit, and do some script writing with your EMEET Pixy. That's kind of cool that they've got that built into the software. The only drawback to the software that I have right now is you cannot put it in dark mode. So as you're trying to adjust your image settings as far as your saturation and your brightness and all that, you've got this bright white screen that's shining on your face. So once you get it set to where you like it, and then you minimize this screen, that light goes away and now it looks a little different. That's probably the only thing I would ask to have changed, is to add in a dark mode feature. Okay, so in my opinion, I think this camera is, as far as the software goes, it comes pretty packed. It's got a lot of features. This is going to be great for people doing like work at home things where they're on Zoom calls or they're in like Google Meet and they're using their camera. You know, they need something, need a webcam that follows in case they're walking around. Might even be kind of good if you're doing like YouTube stuff and doing like a cooking show or something like that, and you're in the kitchen filming yourself walking around. This thing's going to track you all over the place wherever you go. So that's kind of cool, and maybe a good use for this camera as well. And then anybody that wants to do content creation or, you know, like some sort of podcasting, you can use this camera as well to do things like that. I think it's definitely worth checking out. If you're in the market for a webcam, might be a good idea to give EMEET Pixy a try. So that's about all I've got for the EMEET Pixy. If you got anything out of this that was positive, give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed already and would like to, I do gear reviews just like this all the time. Cameras, webcams, boom arms, microphones, audio interfaces, any kind of accessories, lighting, things that I might need to help better myself in this space. I do reviews about those things. So check it out, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified every time I put up new content. And that's it. That's all I've got for the EMEET Pixy. Until the next video, I'm out.